All right. We are going to talk all about the stimulus package. All right. The stimulus package is broken up into multiple videos. This video is all about the stimulus payments. All right. Those checks that y'all are going to receive as U.S. taxpayers. All right. This information is as of 3/27/20. This bill just passed the Senate and the House, so it is awaiting presidential approval. He said he's going to approve it. We're still waiting for that, which means we're also waiting for dates that it will be implemented, as well as some clarification on a lot of gray area. That said, the questions you have, make sure you post them. Let me know what questions you have, so I make sure as I'm doing all this research that I'm finding the answers you guys have questions too. All right, so stimulus payments, let's go. Every taxpayer is going to receive a single payment of $1,200 per adult and $500 per kid. What that means is a family such as mine of 4, I have me, my husband, and 2 children, we are going to qualify for $3,400. Basic, right? Really simple? Well, no. Here's what we know so far, along with a list of things I know that we don't know. All right, so let's start with the phase out. So every taxpayer, if you file single and you make under $75,000, okay, you'll get your full amount. If you are married filing jointly and you make less than $150,000, you will receive your whole amount. If you file as head of household and you make under $112,500, you will receive your full amount. Okay, the full amount being the $1,200 per adult, $500 per kid or dependent, I think is how they should word that. All right, and then above $75,000 up to these limits I'm about to tell you, you'll get less and less and less. And then once you hit these thresholds of $99,000 filing single or $198,000 married filing jointly, if you make those amounts or anything above it, you will receive nothing for these stimulus payments. Okay? Where does that number come from? That's the next question you're going to ask. Okay? This number is based on your AGI, your adjusted gross income, which can be found on line 8B of your 2019 1040 if you filed it. Next question. But I didn't file my 2019. Now what happens? They'll go off your 2018 return if you haven't filed 2019 yet. That said, think about that real quick, okay? If you have not filed 19 yet, and you look at your 18 return and you're under those thresholds, and you know or think that in 19 you might be over those thresholds, okay, might be a reason to hold off filing for a few weeks, all right? Because you don't want to decrease your stimulus payment. All right, so just something to think about. So I just did all of that. Okay, there we go. So a few things I'm concerned about. All right, so if you were a taxpayer who on your 2018 or 2019 return, whichever one you most recently filed, let's say you're over those thresholds, right? But then what if you lost your job in 2020? So those people aren't covered. So that sucks. I don't know what to say about that. You're not covered. You're not going to receive the stimulus checks. Another concern I've come up with is what if you had a baby in 2020? Like, how do they know that you had a baby and you're owed money, right? So those are a few of the questions that came up right off the top of my head. A couple more items. So you do not have to apply to receive this credit. Or this payment. According to the IRS, if they have your bank info, because maybe you direct deposited or direct debited your most recent tax return, they're going to just throw the money into that bank account. If you did not get direct deposit, they're going to mail it to the address that you have on file with the IRS, which most likely that would be the address on your most recent tax return that you filed. Okay. Now you're going to tell me, what if I changed banks? What if I've moved? No answers to that yet. Sorry. I'm only basing it off what we know so far. All right. And then the last piece of this is that the Treasury Secretary said that he expects most people to get their payment within 3 weeks. I'm guessing he means 3 weeks of whenever they implement it, which we don't have that date yet. Okay, so 3 weeks from when, I cannot tell you. And I also just want to tell you that I am skeptical of this window. Okay, the IRS is already running understaffed. They were already under budgeted before this. Now that this coronavirus thing is happening, they are even more understaffed. And with everything within this stimulus being quote unquote automatic, meaning you as the taxpayer don't have to apply for anything, you don't have to give any information to the IRS, that automatic work has to be done by someone, right? So I'm guessing that someone is the IRS. So I'm not positive that I'm not confident in that 3-week turnaround time, but that also depends on when they actually pass the bill. So that is all about your stimulus payments. Head back to my YouTube channel and check out all the other videos I have about coronavirus and specifically the stimulus package, because it's the newest, funnest thing going on right now.